we do and how they could collaborate with us, being that by developing something for the bank itself or just by plugging in through a white label with us. But we have been seeing a shift in the market, so they have been much more open to conversation nowadays than they were a couple of years ago. So that's quite good news over here.
Yeah, that's really good news, and it seems to be like the same shift that's happening here in North America. I thought it would be progressing a little bit faster previously, but we're starting to see the wheels turn here in the US, which is really good news, kind of following where, like you mentioned, where the UK was in 2008. Well, Tatiana, I appreciate you taking the time. If you have customers or potential interest, how would they get in touch with you?
Well, they can send me an email. My email is Tatiana Delgado, altogether at btech.global, or I'm on LinkedIn as well, so you can connect through LinkedIn too.
Excellent. Well, once again, I appreciate you taking the time and giving us some insight into what you're doing over at BTech and in Brazil, and we will be speaking soon.
All right. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Institutions, so we're trying to kind of go around that route. Quickly realized, I had a hard enough time getting a bank account in Canada, let alone getting accounts in, China, India, South Korea, all around the world. So quickly, after about a year, pivoted and decided to help the small businesses that are out there, because small businesses in Canada and for the most part, a lot of areas in the world are stuck with pretty high fees when they need to exchange currencies. It could be upwards of 5%. And when you're a smaller company, they don't really give you access to advanced online platforms because they're deemed as too risky. So what they do is they ask you to walk down to a bank branch, and it's just not the greatest experience. And we want to build a product that essentially helps these businesses out and kind of the smaller ones. So pivoted to the business market. The business is starting to take off now. We're in the process right now of closing our first seed round of capital, which is exciting for us, and now we're just excited to do our marketing push and really start the growth on this and hopefully reach a lot of these small business owners and help them out. So that's me in a nutshell.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And you did mention that you've sort of pivoted from education over to small businesses. Now, as I guess you're doing that, what kind of challenges does that face? I guess cornering yourself into one pocket and then moving over to a bigger industry.
Yeah, so essentially the premise behind the international student idea was initially coming from one of my professors, and that's when I learned about the problem of international payments. Once I learned about the problem, I quickly realized that, like, if you're a registered money service business, the banks don't tend to really want to work with you. Like, it's very challenging to get bank accounts. And when I talked to FinTrack, which is the governing body here in Canada for money transfer businesses, they basically told me if I'm making a tuition payment, I would avoid the term money service business, and I could potentially get an account in Canada so I could operate the business. And basically what ended up happening is I tried to avoid the term, and it didn't make sense. I had to pivot. And then now that I'm servicing businesses, I am a registered money service business. So I had to get all of my policies and procedures in order. I had to study and learn about anti-money laundering laws and regulations and counter-terrorist financing stuff.